We're live. All right. All right, I guess I'm going to post this in the chat. Let's see. Copy the link. Code GOAT. All right, we already got people in the chat. All right. We're back. Day after live streaming, we are back. A little more organized. Got 3 monitors set up. What's going on, guys? I put a link in the chat for Walk the Mock. I have a lobby ready to go. The draft. We're gonna do multiple of these, so don't worry. We're gonna set up multiple. I'm currently on the Seahawks. In this mock, I can switch off if somebody requests it. I think you gotta click the premium. You gotta go code GOAT if you sign up. It's only $4. We try to do a free one. The free one is shit. It crashes every time. This is the best mock draft simulator if we're all doing it together, you know. So if you sign up, use code GOAT, ends up only being $4, and you don't have to wait for me to do a mock draft. You can join a bunch at any time. You can create your own. There's different game modes too. Can I be the Saints? Is that what you're asking me? Do you want me to keep it realistic for Tennessee or chaos like Carter? It's up to you. We'll do multiple of these. You had the Titans yesterday too. Maybe you switch team. You don't have to. You can go with any team you want. But Javier, haven't been here in a while, but your channel's always the best. Yeah, I recognize the name. I appreciate that you're back, getting ready for the draft, doing a couple streams. Anthony Manzano, go. Have you tried using the sticks? The mod NFL Draft Simulator. It's a new one just created by a former scout. I have not seen that one. We got a bunch of people signed up on this one already, so I don't want to back out of this. Somebody wants to use the Seahawks. I'll switch. Somebody told me to switch on the Saints, so I just switched on the Saints. Trent, you can take the Seahawks. I got a new stand for my mic. I'm not really sure if I love it. It's better than having a boom come across over here. Well, that's easier, actually. I don't know. We're testing it out. We are testing it out. Let's see. How do I do this? So I'm currently on the... I opened up the Seahawks, so whoever wanted the Seahawks can take them, but... I'm currently on the Saints. If anybody wants the Saints, I could switch off. This starts in 8 minutes already. I guess I didn't give everyone a lot of time to get going here. Appreciate you, Dev, for enjoying and joining us for the draft content. Somebody wanted me to be the Saints. Somebody wants me to be the Dolphins. Someone's on the Dolphins already. I could switch off the Saints for once. Are you going to stream during the draft? During day one, we plan on streaming like we always do. Is there a way to get a free trial? Someone said if you make a brand new account you haven't used before, maybe it lets you do a free trial. If you sign up and use code GOAT, it's only $4. Only $4. The Raiders are open still. Raiders are open, so if you sign up, somebody's been on the Ravens for a bit, so I don't think you're going to get the Ravens. The Twitter subscribers got first dibs at it. We'll do multiple of these, though. Starting in 7 minutes already. Hopefully, we filled up yesterday. Hopefully, we filled up like instantly. Yeah, we tried to do PFN yesterday because it's free, but it just kept crashing for people, and it would boot them out, and it would freeze the whole draft. So there's a lawnmower going on right outside my window, so if anyone hears that, that's what the hell that is. Where was that question? Who is your most underrated safety and corner in this draft that you think might shock everybody and jump into the third round? Let's see. Jump into the third round. I mean, I like Noel Williams a lot, but I think he's already known possibly as a third round pick. I'd say Za Frazier from Texas San Antonio. He's a little bit older of a prospect. Or I would say Justin Wally from Minnesota. I think those two corners are ones that are consensus says like 5th round pick, but I think they could go 3rd. And what do we got? 6 minutes till it starts. We still got teams open. Let me post the link again. If you want to join this, we're going to do multiple. There's the link. If you need to sign up, go code GOAT. We had a bunch of people sign up yesterday and play along. But to continue answering the question, safety, Craig Woodson from California. To jump in the 3rd round, that's probably the only one. I think everyone would agree Jonas Sanker could go 3rd round. So maybe some people say 4th round. So you clicked link. How do I join? I think you got it. Maybe you didn't sign up yet. You said Za Frazier as well. Yep. You got to sign up, join. You do have to pay for a membership on here. The free ones suck, so this is the best site. But the membership is only... you could sign up for free, but you can't join other real people's lobbies. So this one, we have to do that one. So not free. $4 with our code GOAT, though. I keep just staring at the chat over here, but my camera's up there. Got to get used to that. All right, we got 4 minutes. We're not even close to full though. Yeah, yesterday while we were streaming, we were full in no time. Maybe I did this a little too soon. Only 4 minutes. I wish I can edit the how much time it is to. Let's see. Okay, guess we can't do that. Or can we? What if I go back to draft? Real time owned rooms. No edit. It's all right. Nice as doom. I draft Josh Connolly before stinky Calvin Banks. Heard it here first. You draft him. Okay. Does it say I? Yeah. You're drafting Connolly. Oh, I see what you're saying. You would draft Josh Connolly before stinky Calvin Banks. The heard it here first threw me off a little bit. I think, is he going to go before Calvin Banks, though? Can't sign in because my password don't match. Any suggestions? Your password don't match? You have an account, you forgot your password? GM just said he will use Jalen Walker at outside linebacker. Does this mean they not taking him because linebacker value, or you think it's a bluff? Oh, Panthers GM said that? I don't think it means much. They're going to list them as outside linebackers. I think any team would, and then they would probably use them in multiple spots. I don't think much. If anybody hears a lawnmower, I apologize. It's right outside. 2 minutes left. This filled up way quicker last time. But we're going to do multiple. Why chat talking like Yoda? I don't know. Join this mock. Make picks for your team right here. We're going to do multiple, so I'm sure we'll get the other ones to fill up. Let's see. What are your thoughts on my last comment? Go with the top guys in this draft that are projected to be drafted in the first 2 rounds. Honestly, I feel like they're guards. I don't think they have the feet to stay outside. You want like the top tackles? Like Will Campbell, Calvin Banks. I mean, Josh Simmons is definitely a tackle. Josh Connolly is definitely a tackle. People are saying the value from 10 to 14 on the big board is pretty close. Do you agree? It's not far off, but it's... I mean, there is a difference from guys like... Yeah, it's tough where everyone's ranked, but in terms of my board, there's a pretty big difference from a guy like Kenneth Grant to a guy like the next best defensive tackle. I mean, the next outside the first round guys. So, I mean, there's a difference, but how many of these are you doing today? We're gonna do multiple of these. It's just gonna be one round, so we'll kind of rip through it and then do another one. So hopefully more people join. It's already starting in 55 seconds, but we're gonna do another one after this. It's just one round. Let's see the hat. The hat, it's a old Vikings draft hat. Mainly wearing, it's picked up with the green screen. Mainly wearing it because my hair is an absolute shit show lately. Who do you want the Vikings to pick in the draft? I think trading back is a very realistic option, but I like Donovan Jackson a lot. Ohio State guard / tackle. Play guard for the Vikings if he slides a tackle. He could slide a tackle if Darisaw gets injured. Oh, I can switch off the Saints. You want the Saints? We got to hurry up. Do I take the Bucks? I just picked a different team. Whoever said they want the Saints, you better hurry. I just switched off. I was on the Saints. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, I guess I'll take the Saints because somebody told me to take the Saints. So since we're going to do another one of these, default ranking will click. I didn't import my board. All right. This is how we'll do this. Little more prepared so you can see the full once the pick is in. All right. We're going to do another one after this. Will the robot control the Browns? Yeah, there is a bot. There is a bot on the Browns. Let's see. Code is GOAT. GOAT code. Titans are on the clock with a minute to roll. Is there sound effects on this? I can't hear it if there is. All right, Titans pick is in. Cameron Ward. What is expected? Cameron Ward, first overall to the Tennessee Titans. Kendrick Lamar fan donated $1.99. I love you, Goathouse. You have helped me a lot. Well, I appreciate that. It means a lot, and I really appreciate the donation. Very generous. Kendrick Lamar fan, you're our guy. Or my guy. The other guys aren't here yet. They'll be here for, I think Pete's got to be remote, but they'll be here for our draft stream. What do we got? Browns on the clock. It's a bot, unfortunately. We're going to do another. Oh, you'll join the next one? Okay, yeah, we'll do another one after this. It's just one round, so we'll get through this and do another one. What's your favorite player team fit? Favorite one. Favorite one. Let me think. Let me think. I mean, an obvious one would be like a Josh Simmons to the Cardinals because they got Ohio State's offensive lineman. They also need a right tackle. Josh Simmons could be there, but there's got to be a fit that makes me feel a little better inside. I got to think about it. I really do like Walter Nolan in the Niners, but it's starting to sound like Nolan might go in the 20s, which would be an absolute steal. I gotta think about the fits. We did a whole fits video, but every day I feel like I have a new one. Like I'm Savion Jones, the LSU edge rusher's growing on me a little bit more, and I was thinking, man, that would be a really good Dan Quinn defensive end, so I like that fit. A lot more questions in the chat here. Who is most likely to slide in the first? McMillan, Tyler Booker. Maybe Jihad Campbell, just because he's had a couple recent injuries. Brown's pick is finally in. Shedeur Sanders, second overall. Wow. That was the bot that picked Sanders. So this mock's already interesting. That like a month ago, maybe a little more than a month ago, that's kind of who we thought the Browns would take because they were so desperate for a quarterback, but doesn't feel like that's what's going to happen. Let's see. Where was I? Do you think Ezraku is a better fit for Tampa rather than Jihad Campbell? Yeah, definitely. I don't. You could argue if Campbell fits probably better as an edge rusher than an inside linebacker in that scheme. Does he have the strength to hold up as an inside linebacker in the NFL? I would think Ezraku fits better. You don't have Josh Simmons in the first or second. Well, yeah, if he can't stay healthy, but I don't know if he's really got durability concerns. It's just kind of coming off the injury. Who would you draft if you were the Texans GM? Depends on who's on the board. Which of those tackles are on the board? Donovan Jackson's a possibility if he's there to start at guard. Just really just depends on who's on the board. But maybe somebody super good just drops to them, right? But out of like common mock drafts, I mean, I don't think Josh Simmons is going to be there, but that would be a really good pick, Donovan Jackson. So either the Ohio State offensive lineman. Who should the Panthers take at 8? Uncommon take. I like Shamar Stewart a lot. I like his traits. I think teams can coach more out of him, so I would consider him. Maybe it does feel a little early. Maybe you can move back a little bit and get him. I think the value's there, but it just depends on who else is on the board there. But Graham or Genty for the Jags. I mean, Genty's higher on my board. It's just, can you get let's see, the Giants just took Travis Hunter. Is it better if I move this? Like there? Is it just my live thing that's blocking that? I don't know. Yeah, with Genty's a better prospect on everyone's board probably than Mason Graham, but do the Jags go that when they don't really need a running back that badly? I mean, you can get Graham, a great player, and still get a really good running back later on. So that's kind of the debate there. Who's your favorite corner? I like Jahdae Barron, but Will Johnson's up there as well. I think Savone Revel, if he's healthy, if he had no injury concerns at all, he would be my favorite corner. It's just he has several injuries in the past. How do you join the draft room after you sign up? Well, I have a link for it, but this one has already started. So we're going to do another one after this, though. Patriots select Abdul Carter. So in yesterday's mock, the Patriots got Abdul Carter. So 2 for 2. I think he's going 3, but Shedeur Sanders going to the Browns at 2 in this case kind of changed everything. So Patriots in back-to-back fan pick mock drafts of Abdul Carter. Well, yeah, the concern is the lack of production for Shamar Stewart. I'm more of a traits over stats guy, but if you watch him on tape, the traits stand out. He explodes off the ball. We got another donation. It's Javier Carrera. Big $1.99. Message retracted. And I took away the message, or I don't know. That was weird. So I'm sorry the message isn't showing up, but appreciate you for returning to another one of our streams and the $1.99 donation. Appreciate it. But yeah, with Stewart, Texas A&M has their edge rushers kind of sitting and reading. They don't have them. Sometimes he's playing inside the tackle, so there's a lot to work with him. One of the PFF guys said 15 running backs could start in this draft. I mean, they could, but they won't right away probably. There's just not that many teams that need a starting running back right now, but there are that many talented running backs where they could start. Jags select Mason Graham, 5th overall. Yesterday, the mock had them taking Ashton Genty, so a little bit different yesterday. So Mason Graham, a very common pick, very realistic. What is more likely, in your honest opinion, for my Dolphins? Do you see us sticking at 13 or trading down and maybe Drafting Trey Amos at 22. I don't want to be drafting Johnson, who has injury issues. I mean, I could see them trading down. They probably stay put. I think Jahdae Barron's more likely, but I'm not super confident with that. I'm really not. So maybe they don't even take a corner at all. Maybe they take a defensive tackle. They may like some of these ones that are in the draft. There's some really good ones at the top. I could see them taking any of the ones that are available. We would imagine Mason Graham's probably gone. What grade would you give the Chargers if they drafted Amari Hampton in the first round? It depends on who was available. That's always a big thing. Who was available. But I like Amari Hampton enough. I just would be, having Hampton and Najee after you just signed Najee, but it's only a 1-year deal. I'd give it a pretty good grade just because I love Amari and Hampton. It's just, how much is he playing, though? How much is he playing? How much is Najee playing? It's a grade I would really have to think about. It would definitely be, just because I love Hampton so much, and he would do some damage if he got a good amount of reps with the Chargers. I'd B+, A-, just because of how much I love Hampton. Really have to think about that. Who do you think the Vikings draft if they can't trade down? I like Donovan Jackson for them. Gray Zabel they could draft. I mean, Donovan Jackson's a pick I would love, but if they go safety, Nick Emanwari, I don't know if any other safeties go in the first round. Aston Genty just goes to the Raiders. Just went to the Raiders at pick 6. It's a bot. Bot again with the Jets in the next pick. Could I pick for the Texans in the next one? I could, unless somebody else wants it. This is the mock for the fans, so everyone could let everyone else pick who they want. The Dolphins could go tackle as well. They do have Patrick Paul, but they're not for sure tied down to him, him starting. If they feel like they can get a better tackle, clearly a better tackle, then they may do it. Who do the Commanders draft at 29? Could be an edge rusher. Could trade back because they don't have a ton of picks. It's just who's there. I would love James Pierce for them. Is he there? Do they do it? Some attitude concerns with him. Jahdae Barron. I know some people are worried about the arm length. It's just where today's NFL is heading. It's not. It doesn't feel as difficult to play corner in today's NFL. Well, I guess it's. Do you view zone or man harder? But there's a lot more zone coverage. There's a lot more split safety looks would help over the top. So these corners really aren't on an island down the sideline one-on-one with big-ass receivers. The receivers are getting smaller. The best receivers in football are smaller. So that's the only spot I don't like Barron. I don't hate him, but where I don't, Armand Membo goes to the Jets. Very realistic pick, but that's the only spot where I don't love Barron is one-on-one down the sideline where he's lacking size and length, but he's just so good in zone, so good at reacting, so good getting downhill that it's not as much of a worry. He likes to tackle too. He'll miss some tackles, but every corner pretty much does. His reaction quickness is just ridiculous. So I think Barron is really a really good fit for today's NFL defense. Playing zone, playing both outside and inside. Oh, I forgot I'm the Saints. Panthers pick is in. Tennessee breeds attitude concerns. Thanks, Pete. Yeah, we need to get Pete in here so he can answer himself. He can explain himself. All right, so I'm on the clock with the Saints. Do I have any trade offers? Has there been a trade yet? Yesterday you guys were trading like crazy. Let's see. Saints. Who do you guys want me to take for the Saints, or you just want me to make the pick? Oh, I've been sent a trade offer. Move back 3 spots, get a 3rd and a 5th. Might have to do better. Let's see who's on the board. Let's see who's available here. I signed up. How do I get in the draft once this one is done? I'll post a link in the chat. It'll bring you right there. You pick your team. But I better pick a player here. No, I mean, they probably wouldn't. Let's see. I'm not going to take a quarterback. Could take Hampton. Oh, let's just go to all. Do I have enough time for this? Will Campbell's still there. We got to take Will Campbell. He'd actually play guard. I like him at tackle, but for the Saints, he'd probably play left guard. I love me some Shamar Stewart, who I realistically think they could pick. We got to go Will Campbell. I love Kenneth Grant. Walter Nolan's still there too. He's way down here. I got to import my own board. We got to take Will Campbell. That offensive line would be that much better. So Saints, if he's there, you take Will Campbell. You could play him at. They moved Fuaga to left tackle. Penning's at right tackle. He's not the greatest in the world. So you could put You could put Fuaga back at his home at right tackle, and you could put Campbell at left tackle, his current home. Or you can use Fuaga and Penning and then put Campbell at left guard, which the Saints need pretty badly right now. So then a little bit more of a complete offensive line there for the Saints if that's the case. And that's going to be very important for Kellen Moore coming from the Eagles. They won for several reasons, the talent they have with the offensive line, first and foremost there. Nobody traded yet. Well, we had a lot of bots pick. That probably has something to do with it. Bears are on the clock. Tumblr, Doge, wanted the Bears yesterday. He gets them today. Let's see what he does. The guy who had the Bears yesterday did pretty well. Traded back, got Amari and Hampton. Traded up, got Josh Simmons, and also, I forget the Darius Alexander. So that was a pretty good outing. So, yeah, we'll do another one of these. I'll post a link right in the chat. You click it. You just pick your team, and you're good. If Starks falls to... Okay, here we go. The pick is in for the Chicago Bears. Tyler Warren off the board to the Bears. There's been a little buzz about that. I was wondering if they'd be more likely to take Loveland over Warren just because how Laporta was for Ben Johnson. He's more... It almost felt like a bigger receiver. The way he ran routes, separated, got open. So maybe they would take Loveland to pair with Kmet. But they could take Warren. There's a little bit of buzz about that as well. Let's see. If Starks falls to Minnesota, I wonder if they would rather pick him or trade back to 32 at the Eagles to get a 3. I don't know. People act like Starks is like too good to pass. I don't know. I definitely think he'll be there for the Vikings. I could be wrong, but He's a good football player, but just not that unique of a safety. He would be if he played in the slot very well last year, but he struggled in the slot. Year before, he played very well at free safety. So he's kind of just a really solid but traditional coverage safety that's probably going to need to stay in the back end and probably going to need zone coverage defense, which there's a lot of. Is there a lot of value with him? What's the high? What's the best you're going to get with him, drafting him in the first round? Like, he's got a safe bet of being a pretty solid free safety. It's just, I don't know. I think people act like, if he's there for the Vikings at 24, you got to take him. Like, not that you're saying that, Andrew, but I don't agree with that talk, how people put that. Floor for Will Johnson's draft stock. Hard to see him getting by the Bucks at 19, but... definitely possible that he gets to the Packers pick. That would be the very latest, but I don't think so. Seahawks just traded traded up. There's the trade. They swap with the Niners, division rival trade, 11 for 18, and the Niners also get a second round and a fourth round. The Seahawks, controlled by Jay Diddy, traded up to take Tetaroa McMillan. So a big-time receiver, a big-body receiver that they really don't have. Why I don't think they'll actually do that, that's not what this is about. You do what you're playing GM, you do what you want, but I just want to add, I don't think they'll actually do this because in that system, you're going to see two receivers get majority of the snaps, and the third receiver will get 20% snaps every single week. That's just that Kubiak system. Really valuing running the ball, really valuing having tight ends out there as well. So they have JSN obviously, and they paid Cooper Kupp a decent amount. They signed him to a 3-year deal. So if they draft Tetero and McMillan, like one of those three guys is going to have to be basically a rotation guy, and I don't know if they'll value a third receiver like that. That's the issue. Cowboys select Amari and Hampton. That was commonly mocked before free agency. Since free agency, they signed Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. Now, those guys aren't sure thing, number one running backs, and they're only 1-year deals. But it just feels to me that the Cowboys went and got options, so maybe they don't have to draft a running back super early. I don't know if they value the position like that anymore. So they may not do it. They may not take a running back in round 1. But Amari and Hampton would be a stud for them for sure. Whoa, hit my mic. Let's see something. All right. Too late to join this draft. It's too late. We're going to do another one right after. It's just one round. You have a feeling the Raiders are going to Raider and pass on Gentry? I mean, Raiders, no matter who is on the staff, they always make surprising picks, so maybe. Starks played so many roles last year, hard to grade. I mean, he played in the slot a lot last year, and he wasn't good there. Like, plain and simple, he wasn't that great. So he's good the year before at free safety, but yeah, he's a tricky one. You think Jair Alexander will get traded, or you think he'll stay? I really thought he wasn't going to be on the Packers next year, but they still have him. I really thought that going into like free agency time, but they still have him. So it's a little up in the air. I still think they try to trade him if they can't. Maybe they cut him. Maybe they don't want to pay him all that money. Dolphins grab Walter Nolan. That is a great pick. Big fan of Walter Nolan. And, pair him with Sealer. That's a really upgrades the defensive line for the Miami Dolphins. Colts had a bot yesterday too. We need somebody on the Colts. Colts had a bot yesterday too. We need somebody on the Colts. You can hear it. Just checking to make sure the stream looked good on my phone. You can just hear my own stream. Let's see. Yeah, we'll deal with that later. I know you're a Vikings fan, but do you also like their other sports teams like Twins? I know I'm kind of gonna root for the T-Wolves in the NBA playoffs right now, but I'm a Bulls fan. I'm actually from Chicago, so it's kind of weird that I'm a Vikings fan. So I like the Vikings, I like the Bulls, and I like Notre Dame football. Those are my three in the order of Vikings, Notre Dame football, Chicago Bulls. Those are my teams. And then for baseball, I just lost interest in baseball, but I always watched the Sox and the Cubs. I used to go to a lot of Sox games, White Sox that is, back in the day. So, but not really a baseball guy. I completely lost interest. I was starting to lose interest, and then every year there was either someone on steroids, and that was a whole debacle, and then there was pitchers using sunscreen, and I'm starting to lose more interest because that's all they're talking about. And then all of a sudden the Astros cheated to win the championship, and then I'm completely losing interest. And then they win another championship just after that. It was like no big deal. So I'm like, all right, I that's enough of baseball for me. So they completely lost me, and I don't miss it. Like football, I don't think I would ever hold out of football, but I would if I somehow did. There's no way I would, but I would completely miss it. There's just no way I could ever not watch football. But baseball, don't miss it one bit. Yeah, and the Bulls do got to blow it up already. I don't know what they're doing. Will Johnson to the Colts. That was a bot picking for them. If a top-rated receiver fell to the Vikings, would they take him or give McCarthy to give McCarthy best weapons? Probably not. Probably not, but they would like. I guarantee they would like Matthew Golden over Tep McMillan. I bet you they might like Luther Burden and Emeka Egbuka over them as well. I feel like they would probably like Egbuka. I can honestly see them grabbing one of those receivers to kind of just play the slot, a lot more than their current receivers do. Is they used Jalen Naylor quite a bit last year, and he was good at times, and he just dropped the ball, sometimes touchdowns at times. I know they brought in Rondale Moore. Does Jordan Addison get suspended for the whole thing before last season? Maybe they would take a receiver. For some reason, I could see them liking Egbuka quite a bit there. Wonder who Lockett will sign with. Yeah, he's still available. Raiders, I thought he would go to eventually, but we'll see. What was that? Shamar Stewart Glaze Fest on the other video was just astonishing. Shamar hasn't done one drill on change of direction or agility. This whole process reminds me of Jamarcus Russell. I think people are paying attention to the stats a little too much. He's an athlete, wins with explosive ability off the line, with speed, with power. It's a guy I want to work with. If he ends up being a bust, there was a reason to give him a shot. But there goes Shamar Stewart. Speaking of that, speaking of the devil, Falcons take Shamar Stewart. I like that pick. I think he would work out with the Falcons. Jeff Ulbrich, really good defensive coach. He's taken pass rushers with good traits in the past, and it's worked out as long as they're healthy. Everyone cheats at baseball. The fit of Tate Ratledge to the Ravens, that's a really good fit as well. Ravens got some good fits. I think if they want a first-round guard, Tyler Booker, but I like James Pierce for them. Carson Schwessinger is a really good fit for them. Thoughts on the rumors? The Titans are doing homework to see what it would take to potentially trade up into the late first for a receiver. They badly need a receiver, especially for Cam Ward, so I could see it. The problem is they don't have a third-round pick, so if they trade up, what are they trading away? When's the next time they're going to be picking? Because they need edge help really badly, too. So when are they going to be able to get an edge rusher? But I could see it just because how bad they need a receiver. They could like Kyle Williams. They could, but maybe it'd be a little better if they went up for one of those. I mean, it depends on who drops, but I would stay put. I think there's a shot that the receivers could drop after Travis Hunter. I don't like, even if the Cowboys take one at 12, I think the next guy, and I don't know if they are. I mean, they might, but I think someone's going to fall right in their lap early second round, so I would not trade up. I'm from Chicago areas. Tell me why you were a Vikings fan. It's my dad. Really, my dad is from the same area. I don't know why he was a Vikings fan. He picked the Vikings when he was really, really, really young, and that was his team. So I was basically born a diehard Vikings fan, even though I'm from Chicago. But I didn't get into all their Minnesota sports teams really. I'm kind of rooting for the T-Wolves in the NBA playoffs. I don't really care that much though, but. Lions pick. Did the Lions trade up? Mike Green, Cameron, Lions fan, trades with the Cardinals. That is the trade details. Yeah, the Lions didn't have to give up much at all there. They swapped picks and gave up a seventh round pick and a 2026 fifth. That's nothing there. So that's an easy one for Detroit. Oh, accepted Lions offer on accident, and it sucked. Could the Vikings trade 24 and a future 2026 third for Washington 29 and 61? Maybe. I don't know if Washington would do that, but I mean, it's not like it's completely out there. I went to a Vikings game. Yeah, here's the story about me going to a Vikings game. one time. I prefer watching from my couch, on my TV, because I'm constantly working on stuff, my phone and content too, so it's easier access. But I can't tell you what year it was, but it was at the Metrodome, the old shitty Metrodome. Last game of the year, it was Sunday Night Football. They had to beat the then Washington Redskins to get in the playoffs. Last game of the year, had to win, and they get in. The quarterback of the Washington Redskins was Todd Collins. He was super old, but he was having kind of a weird, randomly good year for an old guy. Maybe kind of like Flacco did 2 years ago with the Browns. And so we had to drive through a crazy blizzard. I mean, a crazy blizzard to get there. There's snow, plow trucks like stuck on the side of the road. That's how bad it was, all the way from, around the Chicago area all the way there. And it was a disaster driving there, it was a disaster driving back, and they lost the game to Todd Collins. Old man Todd Collins. They lost the game, no playoffs. Nightmare going to my only Vikings game. I can't remember what year that was. You probably can look it up. Whatever year Todd Collins led the Redskins to the playoffs, beat the Vikings in week 17, was it then? Shitty Metrodome. The inside of it wasn't bad, honestly, then, but that was a long time ago. I think that was on Christmas Eve, too. Man, what a Christmas that was. But I call it the shitty Metrodome because it collapsed, of course. Haven't been to the U.S. Bank. It looks just unreal. Let's see. Could you see the Ravens using Mark Andrews as ammo to turn him in a third? Okay, so Mark Andrews and a third for an early second. It's a unique one. I think it'd be a pretty good deal for the other team, not the Ravens. I think it'd be a better deal for them. But if it's an early second, then yeah. U.S. Bank Stadium's top notch. Yeah, it looks like it. How do you make picks? Well, it's kind of too late. But for this one, we're gonna do another one. I'll post the link here. You got to sign up for Walk the Mock. Use code GO. It's only $4. Try to do a free one. The free one was shit. Everyone was lagging out of it, and it was breaking. Let's catch up. Yeah, Lions traded up. The Bengals was a bot. They got Jahdae Barron, Jihad Campbell for the Niners. So they trade back, and they get their Dre Greenlaw replacement in Jihad Campbell, maybe rushing off the edge. Honestly, in Robert Saleh's defense, he typically likes to have like traditional 4-3 DN on one side, Nick Bosa, and the other side being kind of a hybrid rusher where he can play standing up and dropping coverage. And there's some talk about Campbell playing off the edge at the next level. So, I mean, he could be an off-ball linebacker option, but also an edge option. I never thought of that. Sometimes these things, that's the beauty of it too. Sometimes during the draft, like a pick happens where it's like, I didn't think that was possible. I didn't think I would like it, but now that I'm thinking about it, it kind of makes sense. Diaz just did that to me with the Niners and Jihad Campbell. Like, not that it would be like an A+ pick from me, but that could make some sense. He can play multiple roles there in Robert Saleh's defense. They got Gus Bradley in there too. That seems like a Gus Bradley guy to me. Bucks bot on we're gonna do another one of these. More people are gonna join. Let's go, chat. Let's get this thing full next time and get these bots out of here. All right, back to the chat. I was in 7th grade when the Vikings went to their first Super Bowl. Wow. And they lost it like they always do. I was what was that? The Gary Anderson missed field goal against the Falcons in the NFC Championship game. I think I was 7 years old, and I remember it clearly. Was it the 97, 98 NFC Championship game? I remember it. I think I was 7 years old. Yeah, I remember it very clearly, and it was brutal. 98 NFC Championship game. Falcons. Yeah, Gary Anderson was on a record streak of not missing and just fucking missed it. It's just how it's got to be. It's just some sort of curse. I swear to God, with the kicking in crucial moments, there was definitely some these past couple years I thought they were going to lose on a missed kick, and somehow they were making them, though. Even Greg Joseph against the Giants the first time around, just 2 years ago, just rips that deep kick for the win. Like, how is it even possible for the Vikings to do that? Bot took Kelvin Banks for the Bucks. Yeah, it's the Bot. It's the practice run. We're gonna do another one. Yeah, we're for sure gonna do another one. For sure. This is only one round, and then we'll set up another one right away. "2009 hurt more." Man, they're all bad. Definitely doing another one of these, though. Bills took Matthew Golden. Would they actually do that? I think that's great, but would they actually do that? I mean, why not? But they just brought in Josh Palmer. They have Keon Coleman. They have Shakir for the slot. More options, too, but I mean, he might be their best receiver right away, to be honest, Golden. I mean, he would make them that much better. Yeah, Grant slipped to the Bills yesterday, too, and then the Bills took him in this, so that'd be an A-plus pick. The Bears trade up. They traded up around here yesterday, too. What pick is this? Is everyone kind of in the right spot? The same thing happened yesterday. Josh Simmons. So yesterday, whoever had the Bears, it was someone else. Jeffy, I think, traded back and got Amari Hampton, then traded up and got Josh Simmons. So it was another trade up here. Steelers went back. Oh, so the Bills traded up too. I thought we were a little later. Broncos traded back yesterday too, but they get a lot of picks there. They get a pretty good haul. The Bills give up both their second round picks to do that. So that's, I don't know if they would give up that much, but Rams just traded up a little bit, right? Yeah, a little bit. Chargers. So the Rams just had to have somebody here. Here's somebody's asking about the Broncos pick. Broncos got a pretty good haul there. They went back 10 spots and they got both the Bills' second round picks. They are later second round picks. And they got another pick too. Colson Loveland for the Rams. They traded up a little bit. He dropped, so they went ahead and got him. That's pretty realistic. I think I could see that happening if he's there. I'm starting to think Loveland could be gone by that point, but we'll see. Lions are on the clock. They trade with the Packers. They go up a next year first and a third to get here. So the Packers aren't picking in this mock. Well, now the Cardinals trade. I like the movement. I'm confused on what happened now. So the Vikings did some trading. The Vikings, Lions, and Cardinals were all trading together there. A lot of movement for the Lions. They go, well, here's the Cardinals pick. Kenneth Grant. Oh, yeah, they had to come up and get Kenneth Grant. That'd be great. So here's the Lions pick. Lions took Tyler Booker. So Cardinals already picked or no? Now they traded back and got. Did they trade back and then up? Maybe not. Maybe just back to the Packers pick. But who is it now? The Lions. They trade back to the Lions pick and then up. I'm a little confused. But there's another donation. Javier Carrera, again, appreciate you, buddy. $1.99. How was Frogs Angels created? What was the backstory? That was when we would play a shit ton of video games. We uploaded some video game stuff back then. And Danny, who was on the show, and hasn't been in a couple years, but Danny's gamer tag was Clyde Frog. That's like from a thing from South Park. So Clyde Frog was his gamer tag. And then so someone thought of make the channel name Frogs Angels. Pretty stupid. And that absolutely had to change once we really started to get serious about covering football. So, yeah. Appreciate the donation again. Means a lot. Texans pick is in. Emeka Egbuka, pair him with C.J. Stroud. Another slot receiver, though. They have Christian Kirk, but I think they can make that work. I think they can make that work with Kirk, Egbuka, and obviously Nico Collins. But, yeah, the Cardinals moved around a bit, got Kenneth Grant. Lions moved around a bit, got Tyler Booker. So a starting guard, that would mean they're not looking to start Mahogany right away, at all, really. They want to start Tyler Booker. Chargers traded back a little bit ago with the Rams. The Rams went up and got Colson Loveland, and the Chargers are now picking. So Kenneth Grant would be a great pick for them, or Colson Loveland, and they traded out of both of those, really. And the Chargers traded again. I wonder if they were going to trade back and thinking they were still going to get Kenneth Grant. Traded back again. Jags go up. The Jags already selected. Here's how the mock went so far. Jags selected Mason Graham, and now they traded up to try to get someone. How crazy would it be if the Giants go Jack Star at 3? Pretty crazy. I don't think it's going to happen. So went Lions to Packers and Cards to Vikings. So, yeah, there's a lot of movement there with that. The one here, the trade here. Been watching since the Frogs Angels days. I prefer that name, to be honest. Nah, this one's better. Come on. How many trades have been made? A lot. There were more yesterday, but there was 5 in a row right here. This is how it's gone so far. Surprise at 2 with the bot, though. Shedeur Sanders. I was the Saints. I took Will Campbell, dropped right in my lap. Probably start him at left guard, to be honest, even though I like him at tackle. The Seahawks trading up to take McMillan was a bit of a surprise. Niners trade back, took Jihad Campbell. I think it's like a good surprise right there. It kind of makes sense. Bills trading up for Matthew Golden, a little surprise. Bears made some moves here. Rams going up to get Loveland. Grant dropping down here. The Cardinals trading back and still getting Grant. Jags pick is in. Luther Burden for the Jags. They trade up and get a really good fit for Liam Cohen's slot position. Kind of really would give you Chris Godwin vibes in that offense. Really would. That's actually one of my favorite fits in the draft as well. Ravens are on the clock, and then we have, the pick is in for the Ravens. Who's it going to be? James Pierce, love the fit. Great fit. Speedy edge rusher that can drop in coverage. Sounds like he can blitz too if you align him in different spots. It sounds like a Ravens guy right there. Just does he pass the attitude concerns. I'm wondering if they take Schlesinger, the UCLA linebacker. I keep hearing, the more I watch him, like, this might be a first-round guy, and I keep hearing watch for him to go in the first round. I think the Ravens would make some sense. Pair him with Roquan Smith. Titans picking again. It's got to be a receiver. No. Mike, they need an edge rusher. Mykel Williams from Georgia. Instantly going to upgrade your run defense. Titans probably would have one of the best run defenses in football with that. Mykel Williams, Jeffrey Simmons, Devontae Sweat. Mykel Williams could work a little bit more on improving his get-off speed and just getting after the quarterback, but he's got freaky length. He's already a polished run stopper. You can move him inside. Not that they need to do that here, but yeah. It's a bot for the Commanders. What was the trade for the Titans? Yeah, more trading that. This was originally the Lions pick. So, a lot of movement going on. Broncos are picking 30. The Broncos got a pretty good haul. Seahawks, Chiefs. A lot of movement for the Seahawks. They already traded up for Tet McMillan. And then Jacob for the Chargers, trading up at the Eagles pick there. We're gonna do this again. And we're gonna, what is the website called? And it's free, right? Thought you said someone about someone said you can sign up for free, like a free trial or something. But other than that, it's if you use my code, it's called Walk the Mock is the website. If you use my code GOAT, it's only $4, and you don't It's not like a one-time use thing. You don't have to wait for me to do this. There's different game modes too, different lobbies. You can join other people's lobbies, create your own. So I think it's worth it. This is the other simulator that you can, play with friends or other people, real people. It just constantly is breaking, like bugging. So I don't know. Let's see. Commanders. Donovan Ezeraku. So they get the edge rusher that they need. Yeah, there's going to be another one right after this. We'll set it up right here with you guys. It's not going to start instantly, but we're going to set it up instantly. Oh, no free trial. Okay. Broncos traded back, got Henderson. They might take Henderson at 20, but if they can trade back and get that haul and get Henderson, be pretty good. But do they trade behind the Commanders, who are a realistic threat to take TreVeyon Henderson? That'll be interesting. Best gunslingers in the draft: Cam Ward, then who? Yeah, I'd say McCord might have the next strongest arm. Ewer's arm's pretty damn strong, actually. It doesn't always show it. He's playing with an injury this year, like an oblique tear, so that's really hard. It's really hard to put power into that. Donovan Jackson for the Seahawks. That's a good fit. Good pick down here at 31. And Tyler Shuck's got a gun, too. McCord might just beat out those two, though. That's a good question. They're all pretty close to even. Seven-round mock would just take way too long, I think. I'm just doing the round one rounders because it's just trying to get multiple of them, more and more people involved. Chargers, last pick. Then we'll make another one. We got, that trail. Here's the pick. Derek Harmon, last pick. It's a good pick. It's easily a first-round player. Should go a lot earlier in this. They get him with the last pick. They traded back, right? And then up. I don't know what they did, but what stands out here in round one? I mean, we talked about the surprise picks. I mean, it's an A+ for the Patriots to be able to get an elite player at 4 that they're not supposed to be able to get. It's a pretty good job by myself with the Saints. Will Campbell's not supposed to be there, but if the Patriots don't take him, it's very realistic. I love Walter Nolan for the Dolphins at 13. I think that he's a top 5 player for me, but it seems to be uncommon. I guess there's some character concerns with him, so hopefully that's not an issue. I love the fit of the Falcons with Shamar Stewart. I know not a lot of people are huge Shamar Stewart guys. Unique fit of Jihad Campbell with the Niners. Golden probably be the Bills' best receiver. Would they actually do it? I mean, the Bears get a good haul with Hampton and Simmons. Rams go up and get Loveland. Cardinals go up and get Grant. They move back first like that. Love the Burden. I like the Igbuka with C.J. Stroud fit, but I love the Burden playing the Chris Godwin role in Liam Cohen's offense. I love the James Pierce fit with the Ravens. And I'm not a huge TreVeyon Henderson round 1 guy, even though he's probably going to go round 1. But for the Broncos to trade back, get that haul, and still get him, that's pretty good. And I do really like Donovan Jackson, the Seahawks, and Derek Harmon's an absolute steal as well. Okay, let me do one of these. Let me blow this up. Let me create another draft. Real time. Yeah, see, this is if you haven't been on the site, there's like different game modes here. I don't even know what some of these are yet. And these are coming. Legacy, build your own franchise via the draft, available in May. That's going to be a lot of fun. But this is what I do right now. I do real time, and then you can join a public lobby. There's a bunch of them, but I'm going to create ours right here. We are going to go, it's private, spectators, select your team. I can jump off of the team. Tell me to take last time. I can't remember. I think I was about to take the. I don't know. I can jump off the Bucks at any time. Do one round so we can do another one after this. And somebody tell me. Oh, you told me to take the Commanders. I could. If somebody wants the Commanders, I'll jump off. Time between picks. Do we do a minute's too short though, right? We can do 2 minutes. Lock after start, so there's no funny business, and we can make it. It's 5 o'clock for me right now. We can make it for 5:10, right? We don't need that much time, do we? Now someone says do the Bucks. We'll see who everyone wants here, but 5:10 p.m. I'm Central Time, so it's gonna start in 10 minutes. Save and publish. Go to the room. Here we go. Link, I'm going to post that right in the chat. Code GOAT if you still have to sign up. God, I just posted. People were already in there picking teams. You guys are crazy. I could switch. Who was I on? Commanders? I could switch off the Commanders. Somebody just put in the chat, like, hey, I want the Commanders. Can you switch off them? And I'll switch off them. So 10 minutes till this starts. Filling up. We're filling up. If anybody wants the Commanders, let me know. I will jump off of them. Will it be an Android app ever? I'm not really sure. I didn't create the site, but that would be nice. That's my team, so I'll take them. You talking about the Commanders? I'll jump on the Bucks for now. Somebody said they want me on the Bucks, but I don't know if you mean that's your team, the Commanders. Okay. Commanders are available. There you go. Can you do no trade since it's only one round? I could, but I think a lot of people. I think people like doing the trades. Switch my. I got new pairs of glasses because my eyes are awful. These ones are. These ones definitely have like a yellow tint for like the blue light. I don't know. They weren't supposed to be. They were supposed to be like gray tint, so I think they fucked it up. I don't know if the yellow tint looks ridiculous when I'm. Yeah, these are pretty yellow. They're supposed to be like a gray tint. I don't know. Welder glasses, yeah. They look like welder glasses. My eyes have been crazy from all the screen time, especially like busy times of the year, free agency, the draft. So I tried out some different pairs of glasses. These ones are more clear, but they have some sort of blue light. But these ones are supposed to really block the blue light. My eyes are bothering me currently. Seven minutes. We still have some open teams. This was filling up instantly yesterday. We're almost filled up. No one's taking Titans first overall. How many people do I scout in a year? A lot. I didn't count them this year. I'm putting together my spreadsheet, and I'm always like amazed how many players. I mean, obviously there's guys that I watch way more than others. There's only so many I can get to. There's some guys like I barely watched any. But I like to think I'm fairly good at judging guys off of limited tape if it comes down to it. But we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. Starting in 6 minutes. You gonna do any collabs in the future? I definitely could. I just find myself like not having the time. I probably do a lot of unnecessary content, but I'm trying to do videos almost every single day. And there's a lot more. I try to do these streams, try to do these more, but right now I'm, so much shit to do, like Twitter and getting ready for the draft. Big boards and getting graphics ready. The graphics are the lengthiest process. And now I'm editing videos too. So, but I would like to collab with with anybody that has a similar channel to mine. I don't really know which ones. When in my free time, I'm not really watching other similar channels. I'm kind of watching non-football stuff. But does anybody want who am I on? The Bucks? Anybody want the Bucks? What's the plan for draft week? Plan for draft week, we'll have a mock draft, probably two. Probably a final mock draft and a final mock draft. I think I did it 2 years ago. I'm like, this is the final mock draft. And then I was like, all right, this is the final mock draft. Ultimate draft preview. I do it every year. It's going to be better this year, I would think. Every team, it's an ultimate day one preview, really. Every single team, and I'll put something along the lines of who they are likely to take, or a couple options, who are some surprise or like a little bit out there guys they definitely could take, nothing unrealistic. And then, some other pointers as well, like are they a trade back team? Who would they target if they trade back? Are they a trade up team? Who would they target? So calling that like an ultimate day one preview. Big board will also come out. We'll have spreadsheets. Updating the spreadsheet. It used to be all like a big mess on one. It was useful on one page, but it's a spreadsheet. You click on it. It's one link, but there's tabs at the bottom. Quarterback, running back, receiver. Big board is on there. Things like that. So it'd be very useful. And then we'll have a live stream during day one. Right when day one ends, I'm either going to upload the day one winners video or the day one grading every pick video. The next morning, I'll do the other one. The next day, I'll also do best players available. Usually I do a day two mock, but it's usually very tough to get out. I like the best players available. And then live tweeting day two of the draft, and then day two winners at the end of day two. Day three, draft starts early. Day three winners video when it ends, and then undrafted free agency signings video, which ends up being a huge one at the end of after day three winners video. So a lot. What is on these glasses? Something. Did somebody tell me to? No. Website. Oh yeah, I forgot to do it. Probably lost. Okay, post it in the chat. If you're signing up, code GOAT. 3 minutes to go. Only a few teams left. If you want to join, click that. If you want me to get off the Bucks, I can get off the Bucks. I'm currently sitting on them. It makes me pick a team. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't. Or I could just take the Titans. That's boring. If you have to sign up, it's only $4 if you do code GOAT. Only $4, and you don't need there's more reasons than this. Like, you can, after the stream is over, you can do more things on the site. Like we can open it in a new tab here. Draft. So real time, I just created a private lobby. It's still here, don't worry. But just showing you what the site walkthemock.com is all about. There's public lobbies. People created lobbies. You can join. You can create your own. This sounds interesting, what's coming after the draft. It's like a shadow draft. I'm not really sure. Draft for your team on draft day. Legacy sounds interesting. Build your own franchise via the draft. That's coming in May. But then you have just different game modes here. So to me, it's worth it. If you sign up, you use code GOAT. It's only $4, and you can do different things, more than just draft with me and you everyone in the chat. Oh boy. Okay. Not much longer to go. Texans, Bucks, Bills, Cardinals, Eagles. Are those the teams that are available? Those are the teams that are available. Yeah, these glasses are yellow as they're not supposed to be like that. It's not what I ordered. 35 seconds, a few teams available here. I'm going to make this, well, not yet. Bigger tab of who's on the board. Okay. We'll try. We'll see. I think people recommended I would do it the way I had it yesterday, so I don't know. I was on the Bucks, I think. All right. So, do we want it like? Oh, why did it do that? Trying to think how I can do this here. I think the way we had it was the best. Try to make it a little bit bigger here. Should be good. That looks good. Okay. How do you sign up? It's the link that I posted a little higher up in the chat there, but it's too late to join this one. Trey Hendrickson, your take on what it would cost for the Lions to get him? The Bengals are super stubborn. They're going to insist on the first-round pick, but what picks do the Lions have? Could I switch the team here? Detroit. What would they choose? A second-round pick? Would the Lions even do that? They got to pay him big money. They don't have a lot of future cap. I don't know. I don't know if they would give up a second-round pick the way that they draft, how well they draft, and have to pay Henderson big money when they're a little tight on future cap. I don't know if they would do that, even though that'd be a great fit. They would give up that third in a heartbeat, but the Bengals wouldn't do that. Bengals definitely could use more picks, though. I mean, here's the Titans. It's got to be Cam Ward, right? Cam Ward first. All right, we're off and running. Travis Hunter to the Browns. And people are asking, how do you get in? Well, I posted a link to Jimmy had to sign up, but now it's late because it started. Giants select Abdul Carter. So this draft is going exactly how I'm predicting it to go, but a lot of you probably out there are predicting it to go as well. Poppy OG selected Travis Hunter for the Browns. Keelan selected Abdul Carter for the Giants. Why has Will Johnson been falling down boards? Speed and coming off an injury. Refused to run his 40 at his workout very recently, but apparently he was practicing it to see if he was going to run it, but the times were not good. It's kind of being reported that he ran like 4.59 range, which how many corners work out at that speed? That's the question. I think Will Johnson could be that guy that with the lack of, he looks faster that on the field though, but he'd be the guy that works out even with the little bit slower of a time, but that's why he's moving down boards. Patriots, Will Campbell. So Patriots are like the wild card. We expect that for sure the top three to go that way on draft day. Ward, Hunter, and Carter, that order. But then I'm predicting Campbell to be the Patriots pick, but they're a little bit of a wild card team. They could take Ashton Jeanty. They could take Armand Membu. There's some teams that only like him at right tackle, but if a team like the Patriots are like they feel good about him playing left tackle, then they could take him. Maybe they like him better over Campbell, so we will see. Favorite Raiders fit? I mean, the entire draft. I like Egbuka a lot. I think they take Jeanty if he's there, but trying to think who's a Patrick Graham guy. Who's a Patrick Graham guy for in this draft for this defense? His defense. One of those defensive tackles to pair with Christian Wilkins, Tyleik Williams, Alfred Collins. I feel like he'd be an Alfred Collins guy. Jags select Ashton Jeanty. There's been a little bit of buzz about that. I'm not really buying into it, but they get one of the top prospects in the draft at pick 5. Would be an interesting one if it happened on draft day. Adam Schefter got fed info about Browns taking QB smokescreen. I think it's I think what he said, if we watch the same thing, was they're going to take a quarterback at some point. It's not necessarily like he said. I think he said it's going to be early, but maybe not second pick early. So I think they're going to take one in the second round possibly. So I don't think that's smokescreen or anything. I think Warren's worth the top 10 pick. I don't know. I think people were overthinking him a little bit. I don't think he's like super like people say he's unathletic. I don't think he's unathletic, but he's not the fastest guy in the world, but he gets some separation. He makes contested catches. He's a bully after the catch. He's 1,000+ yard tight end, pretty rare. Can block. Teams knew he was getting the ball. They couldn't stop him. Penn State's a really good team, and he kind of carried that team at times. So I think whether he's the greatest athlete in the world or not, he's really not. But I don't think that really changes that he's a big-time ball player. Do I think Kyle McCord has the best arm in the league? Arm in the draft, maybe you mean? Maybe the strongest arm after Cam Ward. So Raiders took Mason Graham to pair with Christian Wilkins because Ashton Jeanty was off the board. So that'd be pretty interesting. Armand Membu for the Jets. What they took last time, it's a very common pick. Maybe he's going to be off the board. Maybe the Patriots do it. Maybe the Raiders do it. But if he's there, I feel like that's likely the pick. Some buzz about Tyler Warren there. How do they pass on? Like if Membu's gone, maybe, but how do they pass on a starting tackle, specifically right tackle, which they need? Panthers pick Tyler Warren. Not a common one, but they do upgrade big time at tight end, and they give Bryce Young in that offense a big time weapon. Interesting one. Shedeur Sanders for the Saints. Some talk about that. I'm not counting on it, even though a lot of people think it's going to happen. But in this case, the person, what is that? Daffy? I don't know what it is, but probably obvious, and I don't even notice what it is. But took Shedeur Sanders for the Saints, so they got their quarterback of the future. Bears are on the board. All right, let's see. You like the Cowboys taking Tet? Maybe. I don't know if he goes that early. Patriots will trade to get Dart. I don't know what the Patriots are going to do. I feel like there's going to be someone like a defensive player way higher on their board than Sanders and Dart. So I don't know what Mike Tomlin's feeling there. Reach for a quarterback, or not that it's that big of a reach at that point. Bears, Walter Nolan, defensive tackle. I think that's a good pick. You don't see it mocked a ton. Top tier defensive tackle in this class. Super explosive. Could play multiple alignments. Bright future. Was the number one recruit a while ago for a reason. Was the top transfer guy this last season as well. Elevated Ole Miss's defense. Yeah, Bears could use a defensive tackle too. Am I getting trade offers? We'll wait till I'm on the clock. We're going to wait. '49ers have traded with the Lions. We got 11. Ooh, Lions pick is in. That's Earl McMillan, so something a little different there. So Cameron for the Lions again, traded with the Niners. The Niners go all the way back to 28, but they get a third, a seventh, and a fifth. That's really good value for the Lions. Once again, I think the Niners would need a lot more to go back 17 spots and giving up the 11th pick. But the Lions go up and get a legit, big body outside receiver they really don't have right now. So that would be something if they did that. It would make the passing game that much better. I don't really see them doing it, but it's a little bit of a wild card thing that they could do. When's my next mock? Probably Monday. Got to think about that, how much I'm actually changing from my last one. Thinking about Monday for that, but I have a lot of other things to work on as well. But yeah, why not? Monday, and then maybe that won't be the final one. Then we'll say, I'm sure something new will come out. I just always got to, we got to figure out when we do our mocks, like, is it smoke or am I believing that? There's going to be a mixture of it. There was some rumors right before the draft last year that the Falcons might legit take Michael Penix, and I was like, no way, but that ended up being true. Cowboys select Kenneth Grant. I think a lot of Cowboys fans would be scared shitless of that, only because, not for a valid reason, only because Mazi Smith, Michigan defensive tackle, but a totally different situation. I had a third-round grade on Mazi Smith. I was surprised he went in the first round. Kenneth Grant, I'm on the complete opposite side. Kenneth Grant is my number 10 player in the draft. Plug and play, boost, starter, boost your defense, high upside, freaky dude. I think he's the real deal. So the Cowboys, him with Odigizua, that's pretty deadly of a duo there. Yeah, something a little different with Perry McMillan with St. Brown and Jameson Williams would be electric, all caps. Something different. They try with other guys too. Jahdae Barrett to the Dolphins. Realistic pick. I think it's a realistic, but you don't see it mocked. I guess I don't see that many. I haven't seen that many mocks since, well, in general, but since the Dolphins announced that they're probably going to trade Jalen Ramsey. But I think they could have taken Barron even if they had Ramsey still. So they could take Will Johnson. They could surprise and take, honestly, Savone Revel might be the best corner in the draft talent-wise. But major injury concern, but the Dolphins go, hey, we're not worried about it. We're good. Did they visit with him? How do I find let's see. Is that still on the screen for you guys? Yeah. I think Savone Revel visits pretty important because coming off the injury. This is saying Bills, Colts, Vikings, Cowboys, Saints, Texans, Packers, Buccaneers, Seahawks. This is saying different. Out of those teams, who would he go to? Who would like him the most? Probably the Saints, to be honest. Buccaneers. Interesting stuff. Jihad Camel to the Colts. Linebacker to pair with Franklin. They badly need another linebacker. So you kind of got a Swiss Army knife here. It's just, does his medicals check out? And where is he going to play? I heard some teams already set, like on their board, they have him as an edge rusher, which I don't know if I agree with, but so he's an interesting one. We had a trade. Chargers, Falcons. Falcons go back a little bit, and they get a third and a sixth. Who the Chargers come up for? Colson Loveland? Will Johnson, another Michigan guy. So not maybe the biggest need for the Chargers. I think they drafted well at that position last year, but I mean they could get better with it, and they do with Will Johnson. So interesting one that you don't see a lot of, but the Harbaugh-Michigan connection there. We had Texans trade. Cardinals trade back in the last one as well. They go back and get some future picks along with the third round this year. Texans. Calvin Banks. So they go up and get their left tackle, or he can play left guard for them. But so badly needed offensive lineman. Oh, the Bengals pick came in at the same time. It was Mike Green for the Bengals. I think that's a realistic pick. Looking for another edge rusher. Did you see the Jags taking Genty and then trading up for Walter Nolan around pick 20? I don't know if they take Genty. I keep hearing that, but I don't think they do that. Just because does Liam Cohen value that position, the running game that much, like enough? But if they have a lot of picks, obviously, so if Nolan starts to fall and they didn't take a D tackle with the 5th pick, then yeah, I definitely could see that part. Oh, I'm almost up. If the Raiders miss out on Genty, do they trade up for Hampton? I think they would wait it out and get one of the Ohio State running backs for Chip Kelly. Or they would probably have to trade up for Henderson if they want. I would stay put and take Judkins. I think easy choice there. Seahawks like Jalen Walker, so something a little bit different, but does feel like I'm on the clock. It does feel like a Mike McDonald guy that could be used in different ways. Likes his edge rushers to be able to drop in coverage. All right, I'm getting offered a lot of stuff here. What's available? Shamar Stewart still available? Do I see him on the Bucks? But I would take him. How do I get out of this? Shamar Stewart. I mean, what they would do in this scenario, they might trade back. They might take Donovan Ezeraku. What corners are left? They may take Trey Amos. Really good fit. What I would do, I mean, I like Shamar Stewart. Was he still here? I thought he was still here. He's on a D line. I like Shamar Stewart a lot. I don't know. I like his upside. Todd Bowles can coach him up. But there's some obvious picks. I think they actually might take him just because of his upside. Maybe they would like Mykel Williams, but maybe they'd like James Pierce. I think they would go Amos or Ezeraku, but I personally would take Shamar Stewart. So I'm going to do it. I don't think he's going to be here. I think there's going to be several teams dying to have him work with those traits. So I don't think he's going to be there. But he could be. Definitely could be. You would love either Graham or Genty at pick 5. What's next? What would be your third choice? What if they went something other than that? Surprising. Niners on the clock after they traded back, right? Traded up. I'm confused. Yeah, they traded back to 28, and then they traded up. I think all three of these mocks that we did, the Broncos traded back. Every single one of them. Derek Harmon. That's a good fit. They could surprisingly take him at 11. I wouldn't be that shocked if the 49ers took Derek Harmon at 11. That's a surprise pick I totally can see. But they traded back and then up and got Derek Harmon at 20. Jalen Walker, Will Campbell, T-Mac. Those are the Jags options after Graham and Genty. It's a little early for Walker. What would they do with him exactly? Is there a player at 8 you could see the Panthers taking that really isn't talked about? Shamar Stewart, it's not really a surprise pick, but I don't see it being talked about a ton. Jahdae Barron, Texas corner. I could definitely see he's a big-time zone corner. Giro Evero really wants to run zone. He really wants to run cover 4, cover 3. He ran a little bit of man last year, but that's not really what he wants to run. And I could see them using him outside and inside. Who's another surprise pick? Where'd the Packers pick go? Patriots, so they went back. They're not picking in this mock. Amari Hampton of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, he'd be easily their best back, and he would be pretty damn productive there under Arthur Smith. It's a pretty good one. You don't see it mocked a ton. I've heard people saying it could happen, but I think that'd be pretty good for the Steelers. Falcons, James Pierce Jr. So they traded back, right? Traded back a little bit. Got James Pierce, pretty solid. Who do you realistically think Washington picks up at 29 if they don't trade back? Pretty much whatever pass rusher's available. Like who's going to be available? James Pierce sounds like he could drop. I would love that fit. Could drop because of attitude concerns, but do the Commanders think he has attitude problems, character concerns? So could be there, may not be there. If he's there, I think they should take him. But other than that, I could see them surprise and go like a guy like Nick Emanwari from South Carolina, adding another safety because they did lose Jeremy Chin. Could go corner. I can see Dan Quinn really liking Revel down there, but he has the injury concerns. Nuggets beat the Clippers in OT. Wow, that's a pretty good game. Mykel Williams to the Patriots. That's one you don't see. Trade up with the Packers pick, got Mykel Williams. Did they get? They got Will Campbell up there, yeah. That's how the draft has gone so far. Trade. Vikings have traded the pick to the Commanders. So Commanders just drop back a little bit. The Vikings just drop back a little bit, get a 4th round pick. Commanders come up to 24. All right. Who would they have to have? It's an edge rusher. What are the edge rushers that are available? Ezraku. Is it going to be Ezraku there? Could it be a... Oh, we're going to find out. Loveland. Pretty different. Something different. I mean, they have Zach Ertz back, but he's only going to be there for a year. But they did draft Ben Sinnott from Kansas State last year, who I liked. We just didn't see... I thought we were going to see a lot more of him. I thought he looked pretty good in preseason, if I'm not mistaken. But... so that'd be a little bit surprise of a pick there. But Loveland's still on the board. He's probably going to be gone before them. Ezraku to the Cardinals, so they grab another edge rusher to pair with Josh Sweat. Lots of trades going on. So there's some trade recaps here. Little draft recap. I don't know if I like this new mic stand. I usually have the boom. I'm trying to think if I could sit back with the boom, and it's just right here, Probably can hear me fine, though, from back here. Where are we at here? We got Rams still on the clock. Jackson Dart for the Rams. I mean, that's a perfect situation for him. Sit and learn behind Stafford. It's a great situation for him. It doesn't help the Rams right now, but they can help themselves in the other rounds. But they don't have a second round pick, so it's a little tough. So would they take a guy that's not going to help them for a while in the first without having a second round pick? So that's the part I don't see, but I could totally see Dart working out, like learning from Stafford and then really being good when he steps in and play. Like I would predict that he would be the best quarterback from this class actually eventually, but be a bold move of the Rams just because they don't have a someone to help them now, like in the second round, since they don't have a second round pick, but they could trade around, of course. What are we thinking? Okay, let's try to figure out who the Ravens are taking. Oh, couldn't figure it out. Tyler Booker. Yeah, could have guessed that one. Plug and play guy for them at guard. Could definitely see that in the first round. The Jags trade back. Who do you think the teams can be, and who do you think we can get in return? If they trade back from 5, who would the teams be? Bears coming up to get Genty, but you trade up that much to get a running back, though? That's the question. Broncos and Vikings pick Matthew Golden for the Broncos. I mean, they need a receiver. I don't know if they would actually do it, though, but that's a realistic pick for the Vikings, trading back and getting Gray Zabel. For the maybe the Jets trade up, just to get Membu, because there's some smoke about the Raiders possibly taking him. So just a small trade back. But again, the Bears could go up and get Genty. Dolphins can go up and get the offensive tackle that they're looking for, or defensive tackle. Colts can go up and get the tight end of their choosing. So I could see any of those teams. What would they get? It depends on which one of those teams. The Jets is such a small trade up, but pretty valuable pick. I always consult the trade value chart and then add some. The team's always giving out more value every single year. But let's see, what's the most realistic one? Maybe the Bears one, but they would get one of the Bears' second round picks possibly, even though it's not that big of a trade back. I could set up a 3-rounder after this. I'm gonna end the stream though. I got some things to do here. What time is it? Yeah, but I'll set up a 3-round with you guys. Before we end this here. Seahawks on the clock. How'd they get here? They already picked Jalen Walker. Now they had to have come up to the Bills pick for an offensive lineman. Which tackles are left? Oh, whatever tackles. Whatever guard, excuse me. Is Donovan Jackson still left? I can't remember. There it is, Donovan Jackson. So that'd be great for the Seahawks. And they did that in the last mock we did as well, right around this range. So they come away with Jalen Walker and Donovan Jackson. Take your Homer glasses off. Oh, or are you not talking to me? You talking about someone else being a Homer? I don't know what you mean. I got some blue light glasses. I'm not a fan of the yellow lenses. I got them today. They actually came in today. They weren't supposed to be. They were supposed to be gray tinted, not yellow. Got these clear ones too, but my eyes are really bothering me. Yeah, not me. You weren't talking to me. That was funny. We put these one. I can't get these on with the hat on. Chiefs get Josh Simmons at the end of the first. That'd be great. That'd be great for the Chiefs, man. He would end up being great. Texans select Emeka Egbuka. That's what they did last time, too, but they had a different spot. Trade back, right? Oh, yeah, that was the last pick. Emeka Egbuka. Last pick of the first. They trade back. They trade back and then up, right? Or what the hell happened? Where do they normally pick? They normally pick, I'm getting so confused with this. They normally pick 25. Yeah. Or they traded up. That's right. They traded up for Calvin Banks, got their tackle. And then they traded back up again for Emeka Egbuka. All right, kind of recapping this. Started off very realistic. We don't know what realistic is, though. The draft is never, never goes how expected. What stands out, though? Like, what's really, these are obvious picks. Can't call them A pluses because, Travis Hunter's my number one player in the draft. So if you get the number one player in the draft, anything other than number one, it's probably A plus from me. I like Walter Nolan to the Bears. Something a little different with McMillan to the Lions. I like Kenneth Grant to the Cowboys. We talked about, though, Cowboys fans would be like a little scared about the Mozzie Smith, but a totally different player. They both play nose tackle, but one's way better than the other. I had a third-round grade on Mozzie Smith. Something a little different with Will Johnson going to the Chargers. Texans trading up to get Calvin Banks, so something a little different in terms of trading up, but it's realistic. Something a little different with Jalen Walker. The Seahawks could see the fit. Derek Harmon, so the Niners go back, right, and get picks. Or they went back to 28. So they probably added. Is that what it was? I get confused by this. Moved around, probably added picks, and they still get Derek Harmon at 20. I think that's pretty good. I like the Hampton to the Steelers pick. Loveland was an interesting one for the Commanders. Interesting. Dart. I think Dart would pan out in that situation, but the Rams don't get help now for their Super Bowl run. Again, I like Donovan Jackson, the Seahawks down there. Chiefs getting Josh Simmons down there might be one of the better picks of the draft if that happens there. Just all about staying healthy with him, but maybe getting a little stronger. But that would be a really good pick in my opinion. So there you have it. I'm going to sign off on the stream, but we're going to create another one though. You could always just join anyone you want if you're signed up, but we can create another one. People requested new private room. Somebody said, "Oh yeah, what team do I pick if I'm just gonna pick the Vikings? They don't have any pick day 2. They had that compensatory pick in round 3. A minute or 2 minutes? Minute? Somebody said a minute and a half. I can't do a minute and a half. One. Someone said. Okay. We're gonna start it at 6. Oh, there we go. 6 Central, 7 Eastern. 1 minute in case there's bots. Yeah, the bots take their time. What is that? 3 rounds. Do I do more than 3 rounds? I'm not going to live stream this, so you guys tell me. Got to sign off, but we're going to create this. How many rounds? I think a lot of people were saying 3. Just 3. Let's see. Go to room. Copy the link. Pasting it. Code GOAT if signing up. Oh, I don't know what I just typed in. There you have it. Alrighty, I think I'm signing off the stream. Just wanted to do another one with you guys. We did one yesterday as well. Yesterday was kind of the practice stream, but just trying to get all set up for the draft. We'll be live during day 1. We'll have insane amount of content before and even more during and after So if you can join us for all that, a lot to work on before the draft gets here. So I'm going to go do that. I'm going to post this one more time in there. Alrighty, thanks everyone for joining. Anyone who donated, anyone who just joined, played along, appreciate you very, very much. But